Layla's hands were visibly shaking and her legs wobbled. "Why would we hate you, Layla?" Quinn said. Layla looked at Erin on the bed one more time. "I know a place where a group of people will be able to keep her safe from all of this." She paused for a moment before saying the last words. "I'm from Pure." "I knew it!" Vorden shouted. "Of course she was hiding something. They probably wanted to use you for some reasons." "That's not true," Layla snapped back. "They don't even know about Quinn. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for any of this," Layla said as tears started to run down her face. "Sorry guys, but can someone explain to me what or who Pure is?" Vex said. "I'm glad you asked," Logan said, spinning his chair around to procure a file. Then he opened it while uttering, "I had prepared for this after I saw Layla dropping off the note in the morning." "You knew?" Vorden said, surprised. In an instant, a projection was seen playing a myriad of different videos. It was mostly of people wearing a type of mask that covered their whole face, all with a figure of an angel that looked like it had its wings removed. It was the mark of Pure. The video showed multiple explosion attacks on certain buildings and different factions were being conducted. "Let me warn all of you, what you are seeing now is pretty biased. The only information I can get about them is filtered through the military. However, nearly everyone knows the basics. Pure has only one goal, to get rid of all abilities. They believe that the world and the system currently in place are wrong. Even the basic human rights don't exist to those with weaker abilities," Logan explained. "I didn't mean to deceive any of you. My situation here is quite complicated," Layla began to reason out, "but the main culprit of the system in place is the military. However, the only reason they can enforce the rules is because of True Dream. True Dream only visited this military base." "And they sent a kid?" Vorden explained. "I volunteered," Layla shouted, yet her eyes slightly twitched when she said those words. "Look, this isn't about me and Pure. This matter is about Erin." Vorden then dragged Quinn towards the side and whispered in his ear, "You're not considering this, are you? For Erin and Peter to go over to Pure?" After hearing this, Quinn was struggling. He was pretty sure that Layla meant no harm, yet putting his friends in the hand of strangers and sending Peter would be a huge risk. "Logan, don't you have everything recorded? Can't we just use that as blackmail against True Dream? Spread it on the internet or something?" "Impossible," Logan replied without delay. "You remember the reports I brought up earlier? The military has a monopoly on what can be seen and what cannot." "I think we have no other choice," Quinn said. "The best thing for Erin will be to go over to Pure." "Okay, so Erin goes to Pure," Vorden stated. "What about Peter?" Quinn's mind was already muddled as he tried to think of solutions, but at that moment, he was out of ideas. "Quinn, we could always—" "Don't say it, Vorden. I believe I have a solution to your problem with Peter," the system said. "What do you mean, you have an idea for Peter?" Quinn asked. "The main issue right now is the fact that your faces cannot appear in the school anymore," the system explained. "He can learn a transformation ability. But I thought you said we had to find a specific ability for vampires that could be learnt, just like I learnt the Shadow Book," Quinn asked. "Perhaps I need to remind you once again. What I said was, there are certain abilities that only vampires can learn, and at the same time, there are abilities that only humans can learn. However, some abilities are in the middle, somewhere in between, and one of them is the transformation ability." The transformation ability wasn't a popular ability with the general public. It gave the user nothing extra that could aid them in combat. One could alter their face and look like another. This meant it was often used for infiltration or spying. Quinn then explained to the others what his plan was with Peter. "So what do you think, Logan?" Quinn asked. "Will you be able to hack into the school system and add his ID?" "The problem isn't whether I can do it or not, Quinn," Logan replied. "The problem is making it all seem natural. It won't work." Once again, the group were deep in thought. "I have an idea," Vorden said. "When we went to the planet Kaladi and the Dalki attacked us, didn't they say they couldn't find 3 of the student bodies?" "That's right," Layla replied. "They assumed they had died somewhere deep in the desert and their bodies were eaten. Well, once Peter learns the transformation ability, why don't we get him to look like one of those students? We can have him appear back near the portal and say he had gotten lost in the desert and came back now," Vorden asked. "Now that is big brain thinking," Logan said. He then hopped onto his computer and went over to the marketplace in search of a transformation ability book. It didn't take long for Logan to find one, due to how unpopular the skill was. It seemed to be a level 5 skill, which was perfect. "Ability book purchased," It will probably take him a few weeks or so for him to learn it, Logan said. For now, he can stay in my room. Let me try something, Quinn said as he walked over and grabbed the book himself. Level 5 transformation ability book obtained. Would you like to store the book? No. Option to use the ability book on family member Peter. Would you like to use it? Maybe we won't have to wait at all, said Quinn as he accepted the system's suggestion. The book floated in the air and flew over to where Peter was. The pages turned and turned until they hit the very last one. Then the book started to disintegrate in front of everyone's eyes. Peter Chuck has successfully learned the ability Transform. Peter, do you want to try transforming into me? Quinn asked. As a tester, Peter did just that, and slowly his face started to reshape and reform into a second Quinn. It was nearly perfect. The others watching were amazed by this. In the room on Logan's computer, 3 different profiles were displayed. It was displaying information about the 3 missing students from the Dalkey attack. Out of the 3, there were 2 that matched Peter the closest. Peter looked at the screen and carefully started to morph his face. The student had medium-length brown hair, and one of the finer details about him was he would often wear a bandana that cut off one side of his hair while the other remained up. Finally, Peter would no longer go by his name in the school and would now be known as P.O. Blank. While this all was happening, the groans from the back were heard as Erin lifted her body off the bed and touched her head. When she looked up, she could see the faces of everyone staring at her and a person she had never seen before. "Who the heck is the new guy?" Erin groaned. No one said a word, and after a few moments, she started to remember everything that had happened to her. Her last words with Jack and what he had planned to do with them. "No, no, no!" she started to scream. "Calm her down before someone outside hears us," Borden said. Layla quickly rushed over to her side, but Erin couldn't help but scream in anger and sadness. "Do you want us to be caught?" Logan said as he threw out a circular device towards Erin. The device opened up midair just before reaching her mouth and wrapped around it like a tight-fit mask. The screams had stopped, but the tears continued to run down her face. While Erin's mouth was covered, it was a lot easier for Layla to explain. Logan then walked up to Erin and had a few words to say himself. "Now if you scream, it goes back on. The situation is not favorable for any of us, and please trust me. We went through all the options. I even looked into your background and thought about seeing if we could send you back to your family, but that's not possible. Staying with Pure is the only option we have." Logan took off Erin's wristwatch and made a few adjustments to it before placing it back. "We are a bit wary of Pure, so if you need any emergency help, you can contact me through that." Erin nodded calmly. Rather than angry or sad, she seemed to be going through a different stage right now. She was in shock. As soon as the mask was taken off, she started to look at Layla. "Will you be coming with me?" Erin asked with pain in her voice. Layla looked in her eyes and held both of her hands before shaking her head. She knew the next words would hit her hard. "No, I can't. I still have my mission here," Layla replied. "What about Peter? Will he be coming along with me as well?" The student who Erin didn't recognize stood next to Quinn, stepped forward, and his face started to morph back into his old self. "But how? Did he have an Earth ability?" Erin asked. "How did he learn that?" The sound of a little excitement and hope could be felt in her voice. "That's because Peter is no longer human," Quinn explained. Hearing these words from Quinn suddenly gave Erin an idea. She had lost her ability, but not all hope was gone. She stood up from the bed and said, "Quinn, I want you to make me a vampire. I want you to turn me like how you turned Peter." "Erin, even if I wanted to, I can't. It wouldn't change the situation we're in," Quinn explained. "What do you mean?" she asked, slightly annoyed, taking a step forward. "First, I think you're forgetting the main issue here. It isn't that your ability was stolen from you, but it's the fact that the school and Jack are after you. Either way, we need to hide you somewhere, and going to Pure is the best option." "Perhaps I should take over the explaining," Logan said as he moved forward. "The reason Peter got the transformation ability in the first place was so he could hide in plain sight. We are currently using one of the missing male students from the planet Caldi. If you did change your mind and gave in, ending up with the transformation ability, it would still be impossible to hide you, Erin. There have been no missing female students since the start of the term." Hearing their explanation wasn't calming Erin down at all. Instead, it was making her feel drained and defeated. "What's the point of me being protected by Pure? Am I meant to just be some type of princess that can't fight for herself?" she complained. "Why don't we make a deal?" Quinn said. "Stay with Pure for now. Once this whole thing blows over or we finish school, come back to me. If you still wish for me to turn you into a vampire, then I will. Please understand, Erin, none of us can do anything when we are dead." She looked into his eyes for a while before eventually giving his answer and finally shook Quinn's hand. "Sometimes you make some sense," she said. Finally, the matter had been settled and a plan set. "What do we need to do to send Erin to Pure then?" Vorden asked. "It's not exactly like we can just walk out the front door of this place." "Logan, do you have an answer?" Quinn asked. "Unfortunately not," Logan replied. "We have Pure members stationed on nearly every planet, except for a few red planets," Layla said. "We won't need to go outside, but just get Erin to the portal room." "That's no good," Logan said. "It seems like after the incident last time with a couple of students being pushed into one of the portals, they have been stricter about the security there." "How about Fex's mind control?" Erin said. "Couldn't he tell them to go away or remove their memories?" "If they are adults, it would be much harder than before," Fex replied. "Besides, right now I'm guessing there will be a lot of people covering that area. If I wanted to get out of this place, the portal room would be the first place I would think of. So there's no way we can pull off something as similar as we did against True Dream, not unless we had someone on the inside." The last words Fex had spoken gave Quinn an idea. It was a risky one, but he had a gut feeling that he would be able to help. "Then we have no choice," Quinn said. "We need to ask Leo for help."
Hi, Quinn here. Wondering what happens next? If you want to jump the queue and unleash all episodes, click on the link here and install the Pocket FM app.